Welcome to Stories from Your Future Self. Unlike most podcasts who just interview high performers, on this podcast I create deep, powerful breakthroughs for my guests in 15 minutes or less. We amplify their confidence, their revenue, their results, and get them closer to their big dreams. But the transformation is not limited to my guests. Using these insights, you will get closer to your big dreams. I'm Bogdan, and my clients call me the fastest coach in the world, partially because of my martial arts background, but mainly because I see what most people miss. And I do in minutes what most business or mindset coaches do in months. In this episode, we meet Raj. He's the founder of KeepFitKingdom.com and the creator of the 3-3 breathing method, a simple but very powerful breathing technique that helps you quickly reduce stress and manage anxiety in just 1 to 3 minutes. And it's especially powerful with healing insomnia. He's on a mission to help 700 million people, and he was in for quite the breakthrough. But before providing this transformation for him, I wanted to experience his 3-3 breathing technique myself. And I gotta say, it's powerful. Now let's dive in because these insights will help you with your own personal breakthrough, getting you closer to your dreams. Raj, big welcome. I'm very, very excited to learn more about your 3-3 breathing method and the history behind it. We touched upon it before we started the recording. I'd love to get into the metaphysical of things a bit as well, and would love to learn about your big dreams too and see how we can crack the path there to getting there faster and easier.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Big welcome. Tell us more about you.
So, my name's Raj. I'm a coach. I've been practicing yoga for the last 25 to 30 years. Born in London, and I'm also a relationships coach for women. I'll tell you a tiny, funny kind of backstory that gives you context for why I'm doing what I'm doing now, and how we've ended up on this podcast as well. I was 3 years old. I'll take you back to where I was 3 years old. And my mother takes me to nursery for the first time in London, where I was born. And we go to the library of the school, the nursery school. And the first 2 books I pick up, it's one about dinosaurs and one about planets.
Interesting.
Yeah. And when I picked these books up, something in my mind, it just imprinted those concepts, those ideas, those images in my mind. I can remember it like it's yesterday. So strangely enough, those kind of silly, childish imageries have stuck with me and have guided my life more so than my formal education. Dinosaurs for the evolution, the evolutionary side of how creatures become more and more intelligent, including humans, how they become more and more evolved. And the planets for what kind of energies are surrounding us that influence human dynamics and human potential. Those would be
interesting. And you mentioned before the recording that you developed your method by living in India and meeting avatars, right? What's one experience that you've had that defies logic?
I have many. Okay, I'll tell you one, and this is such an incredible story, but I can tell it in a very short period of time. So I'm in this ashram, like a spiritual center of this great avatar. His name's Sai Baba in India. And I was sitting there like everyone else, waiting to see him because every morning he would walk around the people and give his blessings and things like that. And I saw him from a distance, and I was just thinking to myself, okay, it's very quiet, it's very peaceful, it's beautiful, sunny, birds are singing, beautiful, right? And I'm thinking, well, it's going to take some time for him to get to me because he's quite far. And then I look round within a second, and he's there right in front of me. I'm thinking, what just happened? Right? I'm like, I was shocked because my heart just went boom. And I was like, when I looked at him, I thought, you're not you're playing around with time and space. There's no way you could have gone from all the way down there to right in front of me in a second. And I heard a voice. It
Mm-hmm.
said to me, "This is not real. This what you think is real. It's not real." And I was like,
Mm.
Jesus Christ.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and it just shook me up from inside. You know.
Yeah. I mean, to mention Jesus Christ, he's like one of the OG avatars. Probably not the first, but definitely.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of that Monty Python scene where they're like waiting for the guy with the sword. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Like running over the hill, right? Like, oh, he's not coming. Like, and then boom, all of a sudden he
Yeah.
appears. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah. We've had somebody in Romania like that, like who is a saint who could bilocate. He went to, I think, his mother's funeral, and he was in prison at the same time. That's yeah,
uh,
yeah, and people swear by it.
yeah. Mm.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I'd love to experience your method before we dive into like the breakthrough side of
Yeah.
things. And I think people listening in that maybe they can listen in and try it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'll take you through. Do you want any of the kind of ethos around the breath, or have you covered a lot of that already? Do you want a bit more of the kind of knowledge, a bit of the philosophy and the metaphysics around the breath briefly, or
I think it's good to experience it for it, actually it depends. Like whatever you feel is more
okay,
relevant.
okay. Um, I would say a little bit of knowledge first, a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of encapsulate it, and then we can go straight into it.
Perfect.
So basically, what I realize is that the way we're taught in the system, in the school system here, is completely upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
this is where I got confused because I thought I'm growing up in this system and I'm being bred to be part of this consumerist system, which a lot of people will admit or not. That is based on the Rockefeller model from America to breed consumers, to have debt, to have
Yeah.
mortgages, uh, to be subservient to the system, the government, the education system, and
Mm-hmm.
also the healthcare system. When I started to realize that that's not in conformance with my real self, right? I had to realize what is the agency that you can utilize to get yourself calibrated to attune to yourself. Then I
Mm.
realized it was the breath.
Mm.
And what you think is all around you right now, which is surrounding us 24/7, yeah, it's not air, it's not just oxygen. It's
Yeah.
three main components you'll learn from Vedanta, the yoga system from India, which is over 20,000 years old. It's light, electricity, and magnetism. That's what's surrounding us. It's intelligent. It's not just oxygen.
Yeah.
It's highly, highly intelligent. And if you know how to bring this energy into your system, you can completely revolutionize and transform yourself.
Mm.
And
I love
yeah,
that.
and
I
you
love
can
that.
hasten your intelligence. You can evolve quicker just by simply taking this energy, atmospheric energy, into your immune system and your nervous system.
Mm. This is very synchronistic because what I've been playing with lately is kind of combining like the meditation you do, like looking at a candle. And but what I'm thinking when I'm doing with every breath is like when I'm inhaling, I'm visualizing gathering energy, and then when I'm exhaling, I'm visualizing storing that energy in the abdomen. Very, very
Mm,
synchronistic, what you're saying.
yeah. And in Vedanta, they say, the omniscient being who created everything. It's an inflow and an outflow, an in breath and an out
Right.
breath. The whole universe is an expansion and a contraction happening all the time.
Yeah.
Inflow and outflow. I think why
Yeah.
people love the ocean so much when they walk on the beach, because it's got predictable
Mm-hmm.
flow, ebb and flow. Ebb.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
Mm-hmm.
soothing
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because we also have that rhythm. So that's a little bit about the kind of background about the components which are in the atmosphere. So when you understand that principle and start to live more by it, you can do without food. You can start to go without food.
Mm. I was thinking about breatharians when you mentioned there being light and energy and accumulating that. For anybody who doesn't know, breatharians basically don't eat; they feed themselves. Allegedly, I haven't met one. I cannot tell you from personal experience, but this is what I know from like you know looking at it online. They yeah, they just feed with energy. They don't need food.
That's right. I can attest to that because I used to eat 3 meals a day. Now it's 1.5 meals a day, or even 1 meal a day. Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Same with water. They say,
Beautiful.
"Oh, you'll die if you don't drink enough water." I don't have to drink. It's not a problem. Yeah.
Interesting.
So,
Awesome. So let's dive
yeah.
into the
Sure.
method. If
Sure. So first, what we do is we check the nostril flow first. So we block one nostril and breathe a few times in and out, and we block the other one. We get a sense, Bogdan, of the ratio. Is it 50-50? Is one a bit more open than the other, would you say?
this one is like 60-70% more flow.
Okay, so it's like 60, 70, 30, something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Bogdan, how would you say you're feeling right now, overall, generally? One is terrible.
What is,
10 is amazing.
I would say 8.
8. And do you practice any breathing methods yourself?
Yeah, like the meditation I mentioned in the morning.
Okay, but does that include like how much breathing sort of is that? Like how many minutes roughly?
I the whole meditation or like per inhale,
The
exhale.
breathing element of it, if you have any idea.
Most of it. I mean, I'm like very aware of each breath when I do it. So that's like 10-15 minutes, let's say.
Okay, great. So this method is very gentle. It's very soft. It's about getting you into the parasympathetic nervous system quickly. You have the
Mm-hmm.
sympathetic, freeze, fight, flight, which a lot of people are talking about, to now the soft, gentle, relaxing, healing side, the parasympathetic side.
Mm.
So this method helps you get into that very, very quickly,
Okay.
and there's nothing. It's not like Wim Hof where you breathe like hyperventilation through
Mm.
the mouth. You don't have.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so you don't have to force anything. You don't have to worry about your diaphragm or your belly or your clavicles, or you don't have to worry about any of that. Yeah.
Interesting.
So what it is, it's 3 parts through the nose, like this. I'm not sure if the audio is going to be sort of cancelling the sound, but I'll do it anyway. So it's
Okay.
like this.
I'll let you know.
Sure. So it's like sniff, sniff, sniff. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's it. But the third inhale through the nose doesn't have to be extended. So it's just 3 equal parts through the nose. So
Okay.
then
Mm.
longer exhale. That's it. Exactly. Exactly. And what we do this for a minute together. I'll set a timer. Yeah, you've got it.
Okay.
Perfect, right? And the ha sound comes from the back of the throat to activate the vagus nerve. So it's,
Mm.
that activates the vagus nerve. So you start to notice
Okay.
within a few seconds, you start to feel very connected, blended in.
Mm. Mm.
So we'll do a minute together. Keep your eyes closed the whole time, and I'll walk you through everything afterwards as well. Okay? So 3, 2, 1, and go. Nice and slow. Doesn't have to be fast. Okay, stop there. Just relax. Keep the eyes closed. Just relax. And just feel what's happening within. Just relax. And keeping your eyes closed just for a moment, Bogdan, with your eyes closed, tell me what you notice and how you feel.
A lot softer
Mm-hmm.
in the head,
Mm-hmm.
especially here between the eyes. A lot softer in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
A lot smoother.
Mm-hmm. Does that feel pleasant?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did you notice any cool sensations around the sinuses or back of the eyes or around the brain,
Mostly around my throat.
around the throat? And did you notice your heart rate slow down a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
And the mental chatter, that's a monkey mind that most of us have during this busy world, busy life. Does that slow down a bit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
also.
Yeah. And you notice a growing expanse of awareness of the mind, sort of beyond the body, beyond the flesh and bone, you kind of sense an awareness.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And you mentioned you felt an 8 out of 10 earlier. What do you feel now?
A 9.
Mm. Um, if you can check your nostril flow, so just block one nostril and breathe a couple of times out, and then block the other one.
No, I can already feel it. The one that was closed off is now a lot more open than the previous
Mm-hmm.
one.
So would you say it's like, you said it was like 70-30 roughly, would you say it's like
Mm-hmm.
60-40 or 50-50?
Yeah, it kind of like they switched.
Switched.
Yeah.
It's quite quick for just 1 minute for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised are you how quickly this worked, given that you just did it for 60 seconds on a scale of 1 to 10?
Not that
Mm-hmm.
surprised. I've uh that was kind of my expectation in a sense
Mm-hmm.
for it to be quick and
Yeah,
effective.
that's good. That's good. And do you feel like you're in a flow state? Mm-hmm.
Close.
Mm-hmm.
Close.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably if I was stuck with that
For another minute.
state a bit
Mm-hmm.
more, yeah.
Okay.
Like just being there a bit more, like for another minute, the
Yeah.
initial feeling, yeah,
Yeah.
probably I would have been
Yeah.
there.
Because exactly now that you could do this for 2 or 3 minutes consecutively, and then
Hmm.
you'll notice the flow state will really get deep into it.
Mm,
That's what we do with our clients and customers.
beautiful.
Okay. So,
Beautiful. Yeah, this was fun. And I love that it saves time. It's very quick. Hmm. I imagine like the more you do it, the better you get at it, right?
absolutely. And the interesting thing is for your listeners and yourself, people love the film The Matrix
Hmm.
and the bullet time effect where everything slows down. When you do this method for 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 minutes, 7 minutes, we teach some of our clients, everything slows down.
Interesting.
And people
Hmm.
start
Hmm.
agreeing with you because you're in flow state. There's no resistance or negative energy around. So people tend to just agree with you. It's not because of what you're saying. It's just because they know you feel
Hmm.
good and they're picking up your electromagnetic energy.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. I do a centering exercise that kind of has a similar effect, but I love this because it's like a minute and like you're there. And yeah, I'm gonna try with the 5 to 6 minutes as well. Do a bit of dodge a few bullets, both physically and literally, and what's the other one? Yeah,
Metaphorically or mentally.
metaphorically. There we go. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing this. It's really powerful.
You're a science
Beautiful.
person. You're a
Hmm?
scientific minded type of person as well.
No, actually quite metaphysically
Yeah.
oriented.
So what you've done, you've released endorphins from your brain,
Mm-hmm.
serotonin and dopamine, which are feel-good, happy hormones, as you probably know,
Mm-hmm.
and also
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
anandamide, which is from the Sanskrit term ananda, bliss. There's a bliss molecule in your brain,
Mm.
and you've activated all four of those, plus activated the vagus nerve,
Mm.
all at the
Interesting.
same
Mm-hmm.
time. That's why this method works to help people with insomnia fall asleep within 30 to 90 seconds.
That's really cool. So would I be correct to say that your big dream is to kind of spread this method out, or what would you say is your big vision, big dream?
There's 770 million people with insomnia globally. So, because we know a lot of people are afraid of taking meds or they have side effects, they've taken
Mm-hmm.
5, 10, or 15 years taking antidepressants and they're not feeling better at all. They're not sleeping well at all. So, we want to help a big percentage of these people. So,
Beautiful.
if it's
Mm-hmm.
100 million
Mm-hmm.
people or 500 million people, or, we want to help them with a natural method without medicine, without,
I love
yeah,
that. Permission to put my coaching hat on?
please.
Awesome. So, what would you need to impact? You said 700 million
Mhm.
people? Great. What would need to happen for you to do that?
We would we're doing podcasts, to get more exposure. We
Mm-hmm.
would probably need to do some traveling to get it out there into Asia. Korea and Japan are particularly afflicted with insomnia. Um, so we're open to
Mm.
different ways, whether it's social media, whether it's videos, YouTube, Zoom calls, corporate. You know, happy to look at different types, different ways.
Beautiful. Interesting. How open is the Asian market to? Because like there's an abundance of breathing techniques in Japan. Like they have a very strong metaphysical connection already, right? In that sense. So how open do you think they would be to this method?
Well, the interesting thing about Japan, with Japan and South Korea, combined total of insomnia reported is
Mm-hmm.
75 million people. It's a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So if they're still having that issue and our method helps with people sleeping quickly and
Yeah.
easily and it's just being taught with care and compassion, with love, I think that could have a more beneficial impact quickly. And if we can
Awesome.
somehow utilize social media to have it spread that.
So let's summon your best friend in that sense, right? Um, Close your eyes for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Tap into that state, the state that you enable through your breath work.
Mm-hmm.
And just really feel that energy. Just really embody that energy. Mm-hmm. Allow your body to dissipate a bit more. Become one with everything. Yes, exactly. And now imagine that this goal of 700 million people has happened. That you are that version of you in this moment. Yeah. Feel Raj, who has achieved this goal. Notice how your bones feel differently in your body, how your muscles align differently. Notice that there's a new energy flowing through your body. And I just want to talk to this facet of you for the next few
Mm-hmm.
minutes. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Do I keep the eyes closed?
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful. And we're just going to call him Future Raj. We're going to call you Future Raj.
Mm-hmm.
How did you become the person you are today? How did you achieve this big goal?
Through inspiration and imagination.
Beautiful. Beautiful. What was the biggest breakthrough that you've had, strategically speaking? Let's get a bit practical right now. What did you do strategically to become the person you are?
Talk to more people. Communicate.
What kind of people?
Communicate to people who care about health and wellness, like to feel good, to feel
Yes. Yes. And who were these people specifically?
Wellness, people in the wellness, sort of influencers in that space.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And what was the impact that you've had on them?
Revolutionary.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Did you focus on smaller influencers or did you go after the big fish?
Spoke to some of the small ones, the passionate ones, and they spread it amongst their whole team and subscribers and groups and so on, and it spread that way. Then we got attention from bigger and bigger ones.
Okay. May I challenge that a bit?
Hmm?
May I challenge that a
Yeah,
bit?
please.
Beautiful. When you're ready, open your eyes. Awesome.
Thank you.
When you have a world-changing solution, it is credibility enough to get on the biggest podcasts in the world. Working your way up is okay, it's good, but you're not necessarily doing it, from my perspective, from the outside. You don't necessarily need to build up to that. What you're building up is you're getting used to being a voice of this entity that wants to speak through you, this solution, right? You're getting used to, you're just building up your own confidence. But confidence is something you can switch into in an instant. So if you had 100% confidence in yourself as the voice for the solution, as the channel of this transformation, who would you talk to? Who would you reach out to?
People like Stephen Bartlett, Diary of the CEO, Mr. Lewis Howes, Tony Robbins,
Exactly.
Al Robbins, Oprah Winfrey.
Exactly. 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 I had the personal development for martial arts podcast a few years back. I had Elliot Hulse on my podcast, right? You know Elliot
Yeah,
Hulse, right?
yeah.
Like I had like my show, like nobody listened. Nobody listened. I had Elliot Hulse as a guest. I had the CEO of one of the biggest real estate software companies in the US. I had him on, right?
Mhm.
I was nobody. But what did I do? I just reached out, like whatever. They want to do it, good. They don't. That's totally fine, right? So here's my challenge for you, should you choose to accept it. I would say yes, keep doing this the shows. Keep using like clips from the shows, strategically speaking, right? But 20-30% of the outreach should be to the bigger podcasts. They might say no, they might say yes, who cares?
Hmm. I agree.
Are you going to be different on Lewis House's show compared to this, right?
No,
You're still going to be
that's right.
yourself. So why not, right?
Yeah. It's good insight. It's a great insight actually. Um, yeah,
So would you like to accept this challenge of going after bigger fish?
totally. All right. Yeah, because the thing is, it's also a question of people are suffering for nothing,
Yes.
and it's like I don't want to. I don't want another 5 years go past and I didn't do what I could have done easily. Just not, you know.
That could be one of the openers of the email. Like, hey, people are suffering for nothing. That could be the headline, the subject line of, sending us to Diary of a CEO or like Lewis House. And everybody would agree with that. It's like it instantly grabs attention. You're like, you're right. Okay, I have a solution that's like better than Wim Hof's, or rather different than Wim Hof's.
Mm,
What took you 15 minutes now takes you one. I'd love to share it with your audience. Like, okay, that's interesting. It's different. You don't have to be better. You have to be different. And I think you are different.
mm, different, yeah, just different. Whether they want to know the backstory or not, maybe, maybe not. Don't
Oh, they will. They will.
know. Mm,
They 100% will want to learn who you are, right? But to get there, you have to grab their attention with, hey, like statement that most people will agree with, and then here's how this is different, right? Everybody's looking for something different. We don't need another video or another podcast with Wim Hof. We know, right? We want something different.
mm,
Like, we don't need it. Of course, you need it. Like, all of us need breath work and better management of our
mm,
systems, right?
mm,
But that's what kind of the mind thinks. Oh, I've heard this before, so whatever, right? But when it's different, you instantly pay attention.
mm. And when it's the more different it is, maybe they pay more attention.
True, right? The purple cow.
Purple cow, yeah, that's a good name for a podcast.
It's Seth Godin's book, right? It's
Mm,
how to win in marketing. You become the purple cow. It's like, you drive on this field and like cow, 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 and all of a sudden you see a purple cow. It's like, what?
mm,
What is that? It
mm,
immediately breaks your, right? So your job is to kind of understand what is your purple cow effect, right? And lead with that.
Mm, yeah, yeah. The USP, would you say, is also the same thing? Kind of.
Yeah, like you can have a boring USP, but a USP that is like different and has that purple cow effect, I think, yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's like really defining what that difference is. And it's not that hard. I mean, you already like pointed that out. Like the time getting like really understanding also like it's funny, I usually get more into the mindset side of things when I
Mm,
coach, but I feel like strategy is the better direction right now.
mm,
So, um getting clear on what that is in terms of your purple cow effect and getting clear on what you're actually selling. To me, it's very clear what I sell, right? Like McDonald's doesn't sell burgers, they sell happiness, right? That's kind of the emotion. I sell confidence and freedom.
mm,
So you getting super clear on what that is, which is probably freedom from suffering, yeah,
mm,
and time and freedom from suffering, because like you think about it, like what does this improve? It improves your health, you get to live more, right? You get to have a bigger impact. So your USP needs to kind of suggest that without necessarily saying it,
mm,
or it can say it, right? So an example of saying it without saying it is like, instead of doing 15 minutes, what would it be like to do to get the same effect from a 15-20 minute meditation to get it in one? So I automatically deduce that I'm gaining time,
mm. Saving time, gaining time. Yeah, yeah. Mm,
right?
mhm.
I want you to be on a big show in the next 3 to 6 months, and I want you to message me when you do. Okay?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. And yours, if you have the other metaphysical one as well that you want
Yeah, I'd love to talk more about these experiences. Definitely. Yeah.
to.
We'll book that one in. Beautiful. Raj, keep us posted on your progress, and thank you so much for sharing this method. I found it very, very valuable, and I think it is absolutely worth spreading to as many people as possible. It,
Yeah.
it's powerful.
Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you. Do we tell people where to go if they need more?
Yes, please
Yeah.
do.
So
Please do.
first place is go to keepfitkingdom.com. And on there,
Hmm.
there is a tab called the 3-3 product, which has testimonials from the NHS, Novartis, Oracle, the software company. They've all tried this and they're all just like blown away by how simple and how easy and how powerful it is. So you can check out info there. You can email us. You can WhatsApp us. We're happy to help.
Perfect. I'll post the link in the description. The site is beautifully designed, by the way, so I can tell there's a lot of passion behind it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing this with us, and guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.
So, yeah.
Thank you for tuning in, and if you'd like to be featured on the show and experience your own transformational, powerful breakthrough, apply through the link in the description, and I'll see you soon.